A safety vest CSRS comes in two parts, the vest itself and the seat mount. So to prepare to use a safety vest CSRS, first install a seat mount made by the manufacturer for use with the vest that will be worn by the child. Find the cam wrap buckle, the part that has the release button, and place the buckle over the back of the school bus seat so the button will face inward toward the seat. Next, run the other end of the cam wrap downward along the front of the school bus seat back and through the seat bite. It will likely be necessary to raise the bus seat cushion to feed the strap through the bite. Buckle the cam wrap at the back of the school bus seat and tighten it a bit by pulling on the cam wrap strap. This initial tightening will help with the next step of setting the seat mount's position, though the final tightening will happen at a later step. Note that it's normal for the buckle to face toward the school bus seat back, as this design is meant to make the release button less accessible to children. Now, as needed, spin the seat mount around the bus seat back so that the straps with the hooks that will attach to the hip points on the child's vest are the proper length. This is a very important step because a seat mount's hip anchor straps typically don't have adjustment hardware, so their length must be set during this installation step. The hip anchor strap should extend from the bite just enough to reach the lower attachment points on the child's vest, which will sit just a bit lower than the child's lap level on a vest that's worn properly. If these straps are too short, they won't reach the attachment points. But if they're too long, they won't keep the child properly secure, and they'll allow the child to slouch down dangerously on the seat. Although these straps must extend a bit more when a child is larger, they generally should not extend very far. So think about the child who will be using the vest and position the seat mount on the bus seat back so the hip straps will match their size. For the first use, it's a good idea to seat the vest-wearing child on the seat to assess the proper length. As you lower the bus seat cushion, hold the hip anchor hooks so they'll remain on the seating side of the bite when the cushion is relocked. Now double check that the hip straps extend the desired amount. If they're not the correct length, continue to readjust the cam wrap until they are. With the cam wrap in the correct position, complete tightening by pulling on the end of the cam wrap strap. So that this effort doesn't pull the hip anchor straps out of position, place a hand on the cam wrap at the top of the bus seat back to stabilize it. Pull hard on the cam wrap until all slack is removed. When it's tight enough, it should indent the top of the bus seat back a bit. Now the seat mount is ready for the vest-wearing child. Safety vests CSRS wrap around a child's body, closing either at the front or the back of the child. Vests that close at the front are secured using buckles, while those that secure at the child's back have zippers. Set up the fit for the first use and to respond to growth. A properly worn vest must fit snugly as it wraps around the body, and the vest size should be selected based on this child measurement. For either type of closure option, instructions will describe methods for adjusting the vest width to get a good fit. Use the pinch test along the horizontal straps to check for proper tightness. You should not be able to pinch a fold of webbing between your fingers. Note that heavy clothing like coats should not be worn under a safety vest CSRS, but can be put on after the vest is worn properly. A safety vest CSRS should also be worn at the proper length. Think of the lower horizontal strap on a safety vest CSRS like a lap belt, which should be worn low and touching the seated child's thigh. The goal is to remove slack from the shoulder straps while not pulling the lower strap upward. Check the instructions for methods for shortening or lengthening the safety vest at the shoulders. Models vary, but you'll typically want to place the vest's shoulder attachment point, where it will hook to the seat mount on the school bus seat, at the top of the shoulders. Often, an O-ring slide adjuster is used to complete the fitting process, on which the strap end must always be doubled back so that it's locked. A crotch strap or straps is recommended on all safety vest CSRS and is a required part on any CSRS for use by a child up to 80 pounds. For day-to-day wearing, with the crotch strap preset and buckled, lower the safety vest to the floor so that the child can step into it on their own or with some assistance. Then, raise the vest up to the child's shoulders and secure it with the buckles or zippers. Always check to be sure that the preset adjustments fit the child and make adjustments for growth as needed. Also, note that it's often most convenient for the child to go through the process of vest fitting and wearing before getting on the school bus. Start with the hip straps, which should be at the right length to hold the child down and back on the bus seat. Then attach the two shoulder straps and remove any slack by pulling the webbing through the adjusters. Be careful to remove all slack without pulling so hard as to pull the vest upward.
Always check that the seat mount shoulder adjusting mechanisms are locked, so that the upper attachment points of a safety vest seat mount align properly with the seated child's shoulders. The shoulder connector hook's positions can typically be raised or lowered. The methods used to do this include lengthening or shortening the central cam wrap strap, or sometimes by adjusting each shoulder strap. After making these adjustments, ensure that the straps are locked at a fixed length. Most systems feature an O-ring adjuster that must be doubled back after the system is fitted to the child. A doubled back strap is also an effective way to deter loosening straps at inappropriate times. Because safety vests are often used for the safety of children who are prone to trying to get out of their CSRS, this can be very important.